fucking rude. That's what that was.
That's not rude. You just burped like 10 minutes ago.
No, I didn't.
Yes. Yes, you fucking did, you prick. Tell me burping is rude.
Hey guys, welcome to Nerd Locker Podcast, your entertainment podcast for everything movies, television, video games, and more. My name is Adam.
Jason Momoa, how you guys doing?
You fucking wish, bro. You fucking wish.
Are you kidding me? You fucking wish.
No, I don't, because then I would have to compete with you over my wife.
If I was Jason Momoa?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that'd be dope.
Yeah. I'd lose. I'd have to go find Emma Watson.
I would
Emma
win
Watson,
every
if
time.
you're out there, my number is 7.
Hey, no way.
No way. Emma Watson, if you're looking for somebody, look, listen, I am married, but at the same time, I will divorce my wife for you.
I think it's only like $45 for a divorce.
It's like $139 in the state of Florida.
That's crazy how exactly the number
I've had
you
it
know
threatened
that.
a couple of times. Like, we're in a conversation, like, if she says something that's just stupid, I'm like, okay, and I just Google it, and I'm like, oh, look, $139.
All right,
Anyway.
we should probably be clear that
This is not what this is about.
this is all a joke. Okay,
Yeah, all a joke.
It's
I
all a
love my
skit.
wife.
It's a bit, guys.
Anyways, so let's go over this real fast. We are going over the Acolyte, the new Star Wars show that started, 2-episode premiere. Guys, look, listen, we do a lot of these reviews on the show. We've done it in the past. We started with The Last of Us. It was a really solid start. We've done so many series and movies since then. You know what we haven't dealt with?
Fuck.
People releasing so many things at the same time.
Yeah, dude, we're on a
So
tight
guys,
schedule
there's a
right
reason
now.
that Fallout, our review, came out so staggered, is because everything released at the same time. Echo, we waited because we knew we could. We don't know if we could do this with this stuff because I know you guys want to hear about it. So with the Acolyte, we are here reviewing episodes 1 and 2, but we'll talk at the end of how we're gonna go forward with the other things.
Yeah.
That are coming out.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's jump right in. We are setting place 100 years.
Before episode 1.
Before episode 1, and we are going to the High Republic, which is not the Old Republic per se.
No.
So, but we're getting there. We're going further and further back.
Slowly.
Which, in my opinion, and I'll get to this in theories, I think there was a reason they picked this era now.
Okay.
And they'll go to Old Republic like later. Yeah. So we open this up and we get our main character, which at the time we don't know what their name is. They are confronting a Jedi and claiming that they want to fight them in this bar.
Trinity from the Matrix.
Yes, and they go through this whole. I think her name was Inanabra.
I can't pronounce it either.
I will look it up real fast. But they confront them in the bar, and how does this fight turn out?
So it turns out pretty interesting. First off, it looks like Assassin approaches this Jedi and says, "Fight me with all your might," and this Jedi is like,
Indara. That's who it is.
It says, "No, because you don't have a weapon.
And I'm a Jedi.
And I'm a Jedi. We don't fight. Like we don't draw first. You know, we don't shoot first," as Han Solo says.
Mm-hmm.
And then, dude, this assassin starts beating up everyone in the the bar.
I'll force you to do it. At this point.
Choreography is great.
Mm-hmm.
The movement's good. It's smooth. You can tell she's a Force user because she bodies people.
Dude, fucking annihilates, dude.
With a whole like gambling table
With
smushed.
2 fucking knives.
Two knives.
Yeah.
2 knives.
Yeah. And like after she goes through all this, she gets down to like this final confrontation with Indara, and she reveals her scar. And we don't really get any context, but she's like, "How is it you?" And then she uses her blade to like threaten someone else, and Dara saves that person, but in turn puts herself at risk, which this character uses to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
Now Indara's dead. So now we open up and we see apparently this character still through waking up. It seems like it was a dream, and they're waking up in this ship.
Huge ship.
She has a droid, a little pip, and everything. So it kind of seems like she is doing this underneath the guys, because when she walks out, she has another employee come up to her and is like, "Where have you been all night?" And she's like, "I've just been inside my room." So it kind of seems like she's lying, which we find out later she's not.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get she goes up, she's trying to fix some stuff up on top, She sees a fire. She starts getting these flashbacks. So again, we keep thinking like, okay, this is her trauma. This is why she's attacking the Jedi.
Right. There's a little bit of like voices in the background. You can tell.
Yeah. And then we see a ship show up, and it's 2 Jedi that board the ship, kind of like it was in Episode 4.
1.
I thought it was in 4 too.
It was in 1. 2 Jedis come up in the ship in Episode 1.
What about in Episode 4? Wasn't there 2 Jedis that got on the ship too?
Only Vader.
Oh, okay. So we get like this little like flat, like kind of like Easter egg, and they come on the ship and they're asking for Osha.
Right.
And
Can
Osha
we
is this
pause for a
character that
second?
we're seeing.
I'm being thrown off by this name.
Yeah, Osha's a weird name. Anyways, they ask for Osha. They confront her, and she claims she didn't do it. And they end up like overpowering her, get her onto the ship. They arrest her, and she tries to get out of the prison, and she meets up with, or she sees other people in a cell next to her.
Right.
And they're like, "Oh,
And they're
Jedi
like-
killer, blah blah blah." And the other guy had like a cybernetic.
Yeah, he could like basically
Kinda
hack the droids, and all the pilots,
Yeah.
and including the warden, are all droids on
But
this
she
ship.
didn't want to get out. She was
But
like,
she
I
was
don't wanna
like,
do a prison
"Dude,
break." But then when they get out, then she's like, help me. And they're
Right.
like, nah.
And they're like, "Nah, dude, fuck you."
Yeah, so
And
they
threw
end
the
up
arm on
like
the ground.
doing that. She ends up getting out by Pip falling out from the ship going down. From
The ship's like
the
hitting
prison
asteroids
break.
and shit,
Yeah, so she ends up getting Pip. She tries to use the Force. It doesn't work.
and doesn't work, which you thought was weird. We're
Yeah,
like,
'cause
we
we
just
just
saw this
saw her
person pretty
nuts,
fluent in
yeah.
the Force.
So she goes over, grabs the Pip, and then lets that out. And then she goes over to help this other guy that's in a that's being fucked up by like a face hugger
Yeah,
from like Alien.
like alien movie type
And
shit.
it's like really fucking his thoughts. That's what the other prisoners had said. So she gets it off him, and then he betrays her, pushes her down, takes the escape pod, gets out.
Last
She
escape
braces
pod.
herself inside of the ship in
Mhm.
like where they're holding like these like I guess
Canisters, yeah.
for like gas, and then it crash lands. She gets there, and then she wakes up. It seems, and she sees it's like a jump scare. She sees this like smaller girl run off.
Yeah.
And she like goes off after her, and it takes her over to this place to a girl that looks kind of like her but younger. And then you find out that it seems to be her sister, her twin sister, May, which kind of puts into perspective of were we not following the same person this whole time? And we didn't see this because we didn't notice the long hair difference between
Yeah.
May and Osha. So meanwhile, while this is happening, we have the Jedi going on, where we have
Soul.
Soul, who is played by I just had this up, damn it. Played by Lee Jung Jae. Yeah, Lee Jung Jae. And
Who's
he is
from
from Squid Games. And guys, he learned English for this role.
That's fucking
That's
awesome.
fucking nuts. And it's so it just
And it's good.
you wouldn't think it, you would not think that.
I know.
But he's her former master, and he gets confronted by a character from the books, comics that you guys don't know. We also didn't know. We saw it in a breakdown, and kind of is cool because like in the comic or book that she was in, she also had a lightsaber whip, which we're going to see based on trailers.
Mm-hmm.
And that character is Vernestra Rowe, played by Rebecca Henderson, and she's obviously playing a much older version of her, because in the comic book she was depicted as having like longer hair. Now she's completely bald with tattoos, so it's like what exactly happened with all that, and it kind of seems like it's a substitute for Yoda and as like the older person. So then Soul's like, let me go and talk to her because I don't believe she has done this. And he goes, finds her, and basically confirms, yeah, she had a twin that she had thought died
Yeah.
prior, which goes into that fire flashback and everything. And we get into this whole thing of like, your sister wasn't dead, blah, 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 but your sister also thinks you're dead, but she's the one that started the fire apparently, and blah, blah, blah. But it seems like the sister's going after the Jedi, these four specific Jedi, which is Indira, Soul, who is the one guy she just killed in episode 2? Torben, and then
the Wookiee Jedi.
Kelnaka. So she's going after these guys. So anyways, in episode 2, she finds this other one, Torben, that she confronts. He has like this OP fucking force
shield that he's like force
Yeah.
meditating in.
But then she goes back, explains this to her friend, who is this like
He's like an apothecary. He's the
Yeah.
new owner of the apothecary, and no one's ever seen him before.
Yeah, apparently he's like in and out, and he makes her this poison and kind of quotes the Sith, pre-Sith.
He does a little bit, and he makes a poison
Yeah.
based off of a poison that's only made on their planet.
And the thing is he told her like, you have to get to his weakness. So it's like he knew the only way to get to him is to make him confess to his sin. So she takes this poison to him, and instead of trying to attack him, she just puts it down and says, hey, you did some fucked up stuff. You know you want to retribute for that. So he just like gets out of it and then just drinks the fucking poison and kills himself.
Which means he was, the reason why he was inside that meditating sphere is because like he felt that guilty about what happened. He had a scar on like a side of his face. So
whatever happened that night with these two, and there's a lot of theories out there, and I want to get into some theories too, but it definitely seems like that's all correlated. And then finally at the end of this all, after we finally get the confrontation between May and Osha, where they finally know who each other, after May already attacked Soul and got her ass handed to her.
Soul's fucking dope,
so she had to like get out of there. So she gets out of there, and then she finally sees May or Osha, and then Osha shoots at her
with a stun
to kind of like get her to get out of there, because this is something we need to talk about, just not now. But you need to know I'm around. You need to know this is not a lie.
Right.
And let's go past this. So then we show Kalnaka, who shows up, and we finally get fucking our Chewie Jedi moment we wanted.
Our Wookiee Jedi.
We got a Wookiee Jedi, played by the same actor who played Chewie in the Solo movies.
Which is awesome, by the way.
His name is, just to give him credit, his name is Jonas Suotamo.
Super dope.
We are going to get more of this. Hopefully, are we actually, this is what I'm saying, guys. I'm going to get into a prediction, and we'll do Bean Boozled next week. I'm going to lose. I know I am, but I'm going to throw it out there because why not? I know I'm going to lose. I'm not going to lose. This is not going to happen. If this happens, I will shit my pants, then eat Bean Boozled and shit my pants again. So,
that's a lot of shit in one episode.
But before we get into some of my theories, here's a word from our sponsor. And thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. With BetterHelp, you could tap into a network of 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who, can help you with a wide range of issues. And like when you start out, you answer a few questions, and any preferences you have for therapy, whether it be for a certain thing you want to try to get over, whether it be maybe too sporadic, anxiety, paranoia, whatever it is that you guys are going through, you can find the right therapist for you by just answering a couple of simple questions. And you can also talk to the therapist that fits mostly for you. If you find out you're not a fit with this therapist, or it's someone that you don't really want to talk to, or just maybe doesn't get you, you're able to change any time, any place, completely for free, which is, I think, in my case, a really cool thing. As well as you can get via text with your therapist, you can do video call, you can do just phone call. So like, it's whatever you really feel, and you could change it up every single week. If you want to like tell your therapist, hey, I don't think I have time to take a video call, can I just take a phone call on the drive back from work? Like, you can just talk to your therapist whenever you need to unwind and make those schedules for yourself. So it's really cool.
Exactly what Adam said. You can message your therapist at any time and schedule live sessions when it's convenient for you. If your therapist isn't right fit for any reason, you can switch it to a new therapist that is a more accustomed to your liking for no additional charge. With BetterHelp, you can get the same professionalism and quality you expect in an in-office therapy session, but with a therapist who is custom picked for you. More scheduling flexibility and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off of your first month at betterhelp.com/nerdlocker. Again, that's 10% off betterhelp.com/nerdlocker, and we will have the link down below in the description.
Remember, guys, mental health is just as important as your physical health. Keep yourselves in check. And we're back. So a couple of theories I have that I want to point out. In my notes I made.
Okay.
I think that when it comes to these two characters, May and Osha, the end of the series has two things. It's nothing I'm predicting or like betting on. This is what I believe. One option is they're both going to die.
Okay.
By the end of this, they're both dead.
Okay.
Some way, shape, and form. Or May dies and Osha goes to the dark side. Not May. In that twist. That last final twist is she goes fully over to the dark side. Whether it be like a transference of like sharing a common like mind maybe and like taking on that darkness.
Could we?
Or this other Jedi Master, whoever the fuck she's talking to, which we'll get into who we think that might be. There is a hidden Jedi Master. I don't want to talk about too much because like so many theories. We did not see him in episode 2. So like I'm trying to hold off on that. We literally saw him for like 5 fucking seconds. I'm not making predictions off of 5 seconds of like how good the actor is. Who the fuck the character is.
We don't know. It's just a voice.
Yeah. So, I think that maybe Osha could turn.
I don't know. There's a possibility. I could see that because she has trouble of like losing, like loss. She has a lot more emotion, but we don't know fully like what May's gone through yet. So I don't want to commit to that.
I'm going to. So when we first watched this, guys, when we watched the first episode, I was like, "Yo, are they doing Did? Are they doing like Moon Knight, but with
multiple personality type
this.
thing?"
That's what I thought they were going to, which they still could do. The fact that they're sharing thoughts, like, do they not know who's the other?
So can we point out?
You know what I mean? Like,
that,
are you Osha or am I Osha? Are you May or am I May? Like, not knowing in that fire, like us.
Yeah.
The swap.
Like,
are we following the right person?
I don't believe Disney will go that deep.
Unless that's what the Jedi did.
I don't think so.
Did the Jedi swap?
I think you're thinking a little too deep.
So I'm thinking, no, I'm not thinking too much into this because we saw this in the theory and it's true. When it came to the later episodes right now, or the episodes by like episode 7, 8, 9 with Rey, we saw this whole dynamic of two.
Right. So I was going to point that out. With Rey, there was that mind transference thing where
Kylo
she's
able to go into Kylo's mind
and
or into body
have
and say,
a full fucking
thing,
conversation.
So this like diode thing of like these two together, the same thing with Anakin, but Anakin was more like the Did. Because we know for a fact that after he passed and was killed, even in the afterlife as a Force ghost, he's constantly fighting against himself. We saw that in Ahsoka.
We saw that in Ahsoka.
He is not just Darth Vader and not just Anakin in the afterlife.
Yeah.
He constantly is still fighting back and forth, and that is his damnation for the rest of his time.
So maybe they're bringing this into like super reality.
So I'm thinking like he's a mirror of what's happening here. I think what's going to happen here is there was no clear indication of who was good, who was evil, because maybe like Mai kills all of these Jedi, then at the last second turns good, and Osha, who's saving everyone at the last second, turns bad. So it's like we really do not know. It shows the Jedi you can't trust anything because like this person that has committed murder ended up being a hero in the end, but this person that has done not one thing wrong turned into the greatest villain of all time.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it stems from. I think that's going to pass down like the fact that what is it? Lysandra is about to go and talk to I'm sorry if I got the name wrong. Yeah, the council, and Yoda will transfer down to when it happens with Anakin and why Yoda was so understanding of these dual things. Because also like Luke, Leia, dual things. I'm not saying they were both like that, but we also later Leia had the Force too. But like these back and forths of these double things, twins, because they were fraternal
the rule
twins.
Of two is just everywhere, basically.
It's going around in this way. So I do think there's something big with this theory that I think will lean into the Rey story. I think they did this in the High Republic, not the Old Republic, because something in this is going to directly correlate, especially with the yellow lightsabers, into Rey's
I'm also glad
discovery.
They re-included that.
Yeah, I think Rey's going to, like, with the text of the Jedi that she has, I think that's what we're going to get into is, like, her finding out these stories and maybe I do think that everything wraps together, and this is my big overall theory for Star Wars in general. Before we move on to Old Republic, we're going to wrap up everything here. Everything here has to get wrapped up. And I think that this is something that Rey will discover and be like, oh, wow, like the Jedi and all that stuff. And maybe think to herself, like, okay, me and Kylo were like these yin and yang. Is there anyone out there that could save us? I think she's going to look into like Yoda's teachings and be like, I need to find the Yoda, Grogu. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is her mission to find Grogu, her master, her next yin to yang
way
that she
into
needs.
The future kind of thing. Like,
we're not going to start the Jedi over, but I need a second person to help me start whatever this is going forward. And Grogu is the only one that has the Mandalorian experience, the Jedi experience, and being with the Sith for so long, the Sith experience. This person knows there is no good or bad. There's just do. And she needs to find someone like her who's right in the middle.
Is she going to live that long? We're 100 years before.
We're showing up 15 years after the end of the last trilogy for these new Rey movies. It's taking place
the new Rey. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, I thought you were talking about this Osha and stuff.
So Grogu should still be alive in that moment if he did not die.
Right.
In Order 66.
Because Yoda is like 800 or 600 or something years old.
So like, not Order 66, but you know what I mean. Yeah, no, Order 66. He would have been
killed
he was alive if that was the case. So it doesn't. We don't know yet. Have never gotten confirmation. We're not entirely sure.
That'd be neat though.
But if he survives it, that means
for all we
could be
know,
a trilogy of her finding Grogu.
For all we know, it could be the Mando and Grogu movie that's coming out, where they introduce Rey. Maybe
she could be a post-credit scene because I'm thinking of like now they're showing a Wookiee Jedi, so
Yeah.
like we're gonna get like the whatever species Grogu is Mandalorian. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we're getting like these crosses of like
So
we never thought we'd do
weird.
this with this. But
Well,
now it doesn't seem
now
so
it's doing
out
this
of
and this, yeah.
the realm of like Grogu. I don't think he'd have like full helmet, but I can see him having like armor. Like
yeah, he's got
Mandalorian.
chainmail. You know,
Not even just chainmail. I think like because think of Yoda's size to Grogu, like he's gonna grow significantly. I could see Yoda
so
in like
weird.
a smaller kind of armor thing. I feel like I've seen it somewhere, some kind of like
Concept
video
art.
game or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
concept art. But I can see it being that, or even like a souped up version of his ship that
That'd be
he's in.
cool.
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
the little
Yeah.
starfighter. From
And I think
episode
Mando has long been gone.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, and I think he just keeps that. I think he is whoever he is in the future. He runs the Mandalorians. You know what I mean? Like he is
Leader, Dark Saber.
Yeah, and I think that's what Rey needs. She needs someone that is neither Jedi or Sith, but her lightness with her yellow needs to be balanced a little bit with someone that's a little more on the darker side, which is Grogu, because you've seen he's killed a lot of frogs, and he also will like force choke a motherfucker in a heartbeat. Yeah, like he will stop you if he has to. So I think that's what it is. But we are almost out of time, guys. I do
Hold
want
on, how much time do we have?
4 minutes at the most.
Tennis balls.
Yes. Okay, guys, look. Okay, so the other day, I'm with my wife.
Side story.
We're talking to her grandparents. Her grandparents are on the elderly side, guys. They are still pretty active, but at the same time, life catches up to you eventually. Her grandfather at some point needed a walker. When you have a walker,
Okay.
you put tennis balls
Yeah.
on the bottom of the walker
Yeah,
to make sure it
slides
doesn't.
it around,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So her grandmother, at a later point, ends up needing crutches, and her
Okay.
thing to us was, "Do I put tennis balls on the bottom of those, just like the walker?"
Crutches. Oh, crutches.
To which we were like, "No, you do not
slide around.
I was like, that will last 3 seconds before you're on your ass, dude. Yeah.
Sorry, Grandma. That's so fucking funny. What the fuck do you think you're gonna go? That's...
I should have said, go ahead. See how far that gets you.
Dude, it's gonna be flat out just on the ground with the fucking wings.
That's what I wanted to wear. Oh, God. Anyways, one other thing I do want to bring up, just so you guys know, next week, right away after this, the next episode
Whoa.
is going to be...
Are we spoiling something or...
What?
Never mind. Okay.
No. Next episode, we're going to review episode 3 of The
Okay.
Acolyte, because we were late. We were dumbasses and thought The Acolyte released
We
today.
weren't dumb. They changed it, I
It
swear.
released yesterday, Mandela Effect. We believe this. Anyways, we were a little bit late, but we're releasing this. Next week, we'll release The Acolyte episode 2 or episode 3 review. And then after that, we will be reviewing The Boys. Whether or not we're reviewing the first fucking 3 episodes that they decided to release all in one day, I do not know. Guys, if any of you actually do like want to comment below and let us know if you want us to do all 3, if we have at least
We'll do
one
all
person,
3.
One person has to say it. If you don't, we're going to do maybe the first 2, maybe just the premiere, and then jump back into it in episode 4. We don't know. It's a lot of time
Yeah.
to spend, and we're going to do our best. Our goal is to do at least the first 3 episodes, but you're probably going to get one. We're going to see. But there's a big surprise for that episode regardless, so you're going to see where all our effort gets put into. It's going to be one
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Other than that, though, where can they find you?
Dude, how's that Dr. Pepper over there?
Oh, it's zero sugar creamy coconut.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, but I do love the creamy coconut, and I don't fucking like soda. I hate it. I despise it.
I'm really
But
surprised
I'm
you
a
got it.
Fucking
Can you taste the
bitch
coconut?
for coconut. Yeah. You want to try it?
No.
Okay. Well, anyways, where can they find you?
You can find me on the Sphere 21 on any social media platform except for TikTok. I'm Oliver Kahn, VA, for my
Dr.
voice
Pepper,
acting days.
Send me all your coconut.
Just the coconut.
Send me all of your coconut.
You know how to
Dr.
cut a
Pepper, 'cause I
coconut?
can't find it. What?
You know how to cut a coconut?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, machete. God.
You don't know how to cut a coconut.
Anyways, you can find me at Amore Photography. You can find this studio at Archangel Studios Official. And you can find this podcast at Nerd Locker Podcast, wherever you need your voice acting needs.
What? Turn off the cameras. We have to have a talk.